Hi everyone, happy Monday, and thank you so much for joining me on my live stream today. If you're not familiar with these live streams yet, or mine specifically, I'm here every Monday at 6:30 p.m. PST. I'm a lifestyle and beauty creator on Instagram over at First Fig, and have been in this space for a while and actually work as an influencer manager full time. But this week I will be chatting through some of my favorite hair care products. And they're particularly great for like your evening hair care routine, but honestly for any sort of hair care routine. So thank you to everyone who just joined. And again, if you're not familiar with our ground rules, number one, feel free to drop any questions, comments, anything like that in the chat box so that I can make sure to address your questions about the products, or any like advice, tips, and tricks as we just talk through these hair products. And then number two, you always get 15% off during these live streams and 30 minutes after. So that will be until 7:30. So make sure that if you want to purchase any of the products that I shared today, that you do so during that time frame so you can get a discount, because we always love a discount. But let's jump into some of my favorite hair care products, starting with our first product that I'm going to share in the chat now so you guys can see it. So our first product today is the Orlando Pita Satin Pillow Overnight Hair Care Mask. So I have very similar to my skin. You guys have heard me say this like pretty much every single week, but I have very dry skin and very dry hair, nails, kind of all those things. So for me, and honestly, just I think for any hair type, having like one hair mask that you really, really love on hand to kind of help re-nourish and replenish your hair is super, super important. That goes whether you have color treated hair, fine hair, thick hair, if you use heat tools regularly. I don't. I just have super damaged hair from years of like dyeing my hair and being a swimmer in chlorine. So I don't really use any heat tools, but I do have kind of a little bit more dry, brittle hair. So if you have any of those concerns or just kind of want to increase your shine and make sure you have really nice, healthy hair, definitely recommend having a hair mask in your arsenal that you love and helps kind of replenish everything. So this hair mask in particular is awesome because it's an overnight mask, so which means you can really just use it for any amount of time that you want. So you can use it minimum, I would say, of like 10 minutes. So before you get in the shower, you can put it in, and rinse it off within 10 minutes if that's like the only time you have. Or you can do what I did today, which is I got up this morning, I put it in my hair, which the amount you use per person will be different per person based on like your hair texture and how much hair you have and the thickness. For me, it's probably like, I don't know, like a hand scoop with all my fingers. And I like to run it through all of my hair. And I don't go all the way to the top of my head personally, because that area is typically a little bit more greasy. I don't necessarily need to have like extra hydration near the top because that's the healthiest hair typically. So I like to start here where my hair starts to be a little bit more damaged, and just run it through all of my hair, particularly focusing on the ends. Again, totally up to you. You could do just the ends, halfway, the whole head. Really just depends what you want. And then I put my hair in a messy bun or a ponytail. And then today I just worked all day with that, letting it soak in, all the like nourishing oils and hydration, just really working their magic on my hair. And then after work, I worked out again, kept it in, all good. And then after working out, I just hopped in the shower and rinsed it out. So my hair is still drying now. But I had it in basically all day. And it's super comfortable just putting your hair in a ponytail and not having to worry about it. It smells amazing. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like sugary and floral, maybe. Um, the texture is like a thick, I'm trying to think of it, like a thick pudding would be the right word. And super, super soft, creamy, easy to run through your hair. Really, really easy to use. Another way that I like to use it if I'm like running errands or anything like that, again, I'll just kind of put it in while I go run errands or anything like that. And no one would be any of the wiser that you have like a hair mask in your hair. Also, personally, like this hair look doesn't look great on me, but if you are a fan of that like really awesome like model slicked bun or ponytail, which I can't pull off, but I'm sure some of you can. This is actually a great product to use to both achieve that like slicked bun hair look and also nourish your hair. And that's a great like no shower day hack. So if you were to do that, you would just want to run it through your hair. And then when you like slick back your ponytail and brush it through, add a little bit more on the top. And then you have a perfect like slicked back bun that also hydrates your hair. And then when you go home, you can shower it off super easily. When I shower it off, I don't typically use shampoo and conditioner as well. Shampoo would essentially like strip down some of that moisture that the mask has added, because what the mask is doing is hydrating and providing intense like moisture and shine and nutrients, like a booster for your hair. So shampoo will strip that down a little bit. So personally, I don't use that, but I do put it on clean hair. And then conditioner, don't really need it because you just gave your hair a mask treatment. So it should be like, focusing on the same things that conditioner does, but in a more intense way. So yeah, those are some like really easy ways to use it. Also, if you want to use it the intended way, which is overnight, which is also super, super easy. It does dry down significantly, so it's not going to be like all over your pillow if you put it on in advance before bed and let it dry a little bit. But what I like to do if I'm using it overnight is I will put down either a towel on my pillowcase, or if I have laundry day coming up the next day, I'll just do my normal pillowcase. Would not recommend doing it on a silk pillowcase because it will look a little greasy. But feel free to use a cotton pillowcase or anything that you have, and then just throw it in the wash the next morning. Another thing you can do is if you have a shower cap or sustainable shower cap that you feel comfortable sleeping in, that helps really seal in the moisture, and your hair will be like 100 times more shiny if you're able to do that, because you're really trapping in the moisture and the mask is soaking in without, like going into the air or anything like that. So that's another really good way of doing it. And if you have one that you're comfortable sleeping in, should be super, super easy, and you'll apply it basically the exact same way, run it through your hair, put your hair up in a shower cap, fall asleep, wake up, and rinse it out, and it should be very, very straightforward. Yeah, so those are, guess what, 3 ways, 4 ways, 5 ways that you can use it. Personally, I like having it on during the day and just kind of going about my day, but totally depends on like what time of day you typically like to shower, whether that's morning or night. I'm a night shower because I work out in the evenings. But this mask is amazing. I've tried a lot of different hair masks, and what I think makes this one really special and different is sometimes your hair, bear with me if this description doesn't make sense to you, can feel like almost overhydrated and too clean. And it makes your hair kind of frizzy and it slips through your fingers, and it loses a bit of its texture, or it feels heavy, or a little bit greasy almost from like so much added moisture to it that it doesn't sit right in your hair. And this one is really, really hydrating, but also really light. So it's not going to add any of that weight or heaviness to your hair. It's not going to give any sort of greasiness, which is also something I know I'm sure all of us like want to avoid. No one likes having like greasy feeling hair. So it's really, really nice. It's really easy to wash out. And again, I've tried many, many hair masks where after I take it out, my hair just doesn't feel like my hair. So this adds a really good layer of moisture and shine. And I would say for how many times to use it, it's totally up to you, but I do it about once a week. And that kind of takes place of one of my like conditioner rounds. But again, totally up to you and your hair kind of goals and what you're doing to your hair that might need it to have some more hydration and shine. But yeah, they say use once a week. That's kind of what I do. But you could also do it as like a special thing for your hair. It's also really nice if you have like an event the next day, or you're going to something where you want to look really nice. I don't know if that's a wedding or something else. And you can do it the night before and your hair will be like extra voluminous and glowy and beautiful. So that's a really good tip. Another final tip on how I like to use this, which potentially a little bit less relevant now, depending on how much you're traveling during COVID. But during flights, our skin and hair gets really, really dry from travel. I'm sure you guys have all experienced that, where your skin just feels like super, super parched. So of course you should be hydrating on your flights, and I love sheet masks and eye gels for flights, but what can you do for your hair? And hair mask is actually perfect, because no matter how long your flight is, what I like to do before a flight, I will pack eye gels with me, and then would not be carry-on friendly, but you don't need to bring the whole thing. All you have to do is before your flight, before you head out the door, apply it all over, throw it in that messy bun, get to the airport, go through TSA, do your whole flight, whatever, leave it in. And then I typically, the first thing I want to do when I get somewhere is shower. And then you can just rinse it off. So that's a really, really great way to keep your hair really healthy and hydrated. And again, what I really love about hair masks is you can fit it into your day any way that you want, whether that's your work day, your errands, while you sleep, while you travel, anything like that. And no one's going to know that you are giving your hair an amazing treatment. So yeah, that's a little bit about the Orlando Pita Play Satin Pillow Overnight Mask. If you have any questions about this product, please drop them in the chat and I will circle back to them at the end, if you just like come up with a new question about this product. Okay, now we're going to jump into our second product, which is the Realm Concept Market 7 Layers of Heaven Hair Serum. Say that 10 times fast. I'm going to share that to the audience with you guys now. So you should be able to take a look at that. So this is a super cool brand, female founded. The founder had chronic disease and was traveling and fell in love with a lot of really cool organic ingredients. The brand is super affordable. The products are handmade and organic and no BS as usual. I'll really never be sharing any products that don't have ingredients that I believe in, and brands that I believe in. So super excited about this one. And I love their affordable price points. I think that's super important as well, to try to have accessible products and not always be like sharing things that are super expensive or anything like that. And that just feels more realistic to me. But this is a hydrating hair oil. I use a hydrator for my hair every single day, regardless of if I shower, if I shampoo, if I don't do anything. I wake up every single morning and I will use hair oil. A little bit goes a long way. I typically use about 3 drops, and then I'll show you guys the texture. It's kind of like a milky yellow, just an oil. Doesn't really look anything too crazy. It smells lightly of vanilla, or actually it smells like, is it Sun Bum that has the sunscreen that smells amazing? Banana Boat. It smells a little bit like Banana Boat. It smells like vanilla-y, warmth, shea butter kind of mixture. So it smells super, super nice. I'll usually take 3 drops from the dropper and I'll rub it through my hands and then gently pull it down my hair. I've already put some in today because when I got out of the shower. And you can use it on wet or dry hair, totally depends on your preference. I typically will use it right after I get out of the shower, or if I'm not showering that day when I wake up in the morning, I'll do the exact same thing, run a little bit through my hair. Again, how much you use for hair products totally depends on your personal hair texture and thickness and length. So that's the kind of thing that you'll kind of just eyeball. So the products will last a little bit differently depending on your hair, your personal hair. But yeah, it's really easy to use and doesn't feel super greasy. The ingredients are amazing. So it has organic kernel oil, jojoba oil, avocado oil, olive oil, castor oil, shea butter, sesame oil, vitamin C, and a little bit of vanilla for that nice fragrance. So super, super clean ingredients, all things that you can pronounce. Nothing like weird or funky in there. It's truly just those core ingredients that are really helping keep your hair shiny and healthy. And even if let's say I already used it in the morning, this is something that I'll use if I'm like getting ready to go out. I'll put another drop between my hands and help kind of tame my frizzies. So you see, I mean, my hair's still drying right now, but my hair's a little frizzy. So if I was, going out or anything like that, it's really, really nice to kind of smooth down any flyaways that you have. I particularly like to use it for, again, those flyaways or frizzies, as well as the ends of my hair that do need just some extra TLC and moisture. Again, it kind of depends on your hair, but that's a really great way to use it. Another great way, if you are someone that uses hair tools, particularly like hot hair tools, I like to use it as a heat protectant. So I will, again, I don't use those kinds of those tools often, mostly because I like just don't really know how to use them. It's funny because I like can do somewhat some like fun makeup looks and know a good amount about beauty. People assume that I like know how to style my hair or something. But I think my skills really lie on the makeup side. And so for hair, I just want products that are super hydrating, really easy to use, and just like really clear how to use them. So all of the products today align with that, which is just a really simple hair essentials to have. But anyway, how did I get here? The oil. Like I said, super easy to use, and you just kind of run it through your hair. It does work on color treated hair, permed hair, and semi-permed hair. So if you have any of those, it's a product that is still safe to use on your hair and won't create any damage for that. I would say because it is an oil, it's probably best for medium textured to coarse hair. If you have really, really thin hair that gets greasy easily, you're going to want to either just use a very, very little amount or just be careful so you don't add any of that like heaviness or greasiness. I typically like to avoid again, like my roots, anywhere that gets a little bit more greasy with an oil can be a little bit tricky unless you have really, really coarse or more damaged hair. I remember what I was saying. Yeah, I use it as a heat protectant. So when I am styling my hair, I will use another like 2 or 3 drops and do the exact same thing. I'll put it in between my hands, warm it up, and run it through my hair before I use my styling tools just to help protect it a little bit from the heat. And again, provide that extra moisture and shine to make sure that I'm not damaging my hair too much. You could also definitely use it afterwards. So if you want to style your hair first, if you're straightening your hair and then kind of want to go over any frizzies, that's a really great way to use it as well. And again, like really, really multi-use product. Wet hair, dry hair, you can use right out of the shower. That makes it just really, really easy to use. I also really love the smell. I know I already said that, but I can smell it now because I opened the bottle and it just smells amazing. But yeah, it's really, really easy to use, and I really appreciate this brand. It smells like summer to me because of that like sunbum / banana boat smell. But yeah, this is a really, really awesome tool to have in your pantry. And like I said, I also really, really love products that are affordable for hair. There are a lot of really expensive hair products, and it's so personal what works for you for different products. So finding ones that are dynamic as your hair changes are really great to have as well. This one would be TSA friendly. It is, I can't see on the label like the ounces exactly, but it's like the size of a more typical serum bottle, so you could definitely bring this with you. I also will say, because the ingredients are a blend of oils, you could definitely use this for other purposes as well. I'm not going to go as far to say as use it on your skin because everyone's skin is different, but you could definitely use this on your cuticles if you have a little bit of extra product on your hands. What I typically like to do after I use skincare products or something like this that's like a dynamic oil that could be used for other things is if I have any extra product in my hands, whether that's a serum or a nice oil like this or a moisturizer, I'll typically run it over the backs of my hands because the backs of your, and SPF, backs of your hands like don't get a ton of attention typically, and it's where you show signs of aging first from sun damage, just wear and tear. We're humans, we use our hands a lot. So if I have a little bit of extra product from this hair oil in my hands, I like to just kind of gently put it over the back of my hands to keep my skin there just healthy and moisturized and super easy, use for the product, and make sure that nothing goes to waste. So definitely feel free to kind of play around with it and see what works for you. But in general, if you have any like extra skincare product or again, something like this, there's no reason not to kind of just put over your arms, put over the backs of your hands to help keep that area healthy as well. Awesome. So we just chatted through this hair serum that I love from Realm Concept Market. It's the 7 Layers of Heaven hair serum. Again, say it 10 times fast. It's definitely a mouthful. And then the other product we chatted about today so far is the Orlando Pita Play Satin Pillow Overnight Hair Mask. Also kind of a tongue twister. And both of these products are just really, really hydrating and wonderful for your hair and really, really easy to use. Both of them, there's tons of different ways to use them. This is something that I use as a daily product to just keep my hair shiny and hydrated and make sure it's not getting dried out too much. And this product, this overnight hair mask, I do use about once a week. And I don't typically use it overnight, but you can really use it for any time period that you want, whether that's 10 minutes to 24 hours. So both really, really amazing hair staples. For anyone who just joined us, wanted to give you a little bit of a recap. As always, please drop any questions or comments in the chat so that I can get to those for you and make sure we clarify anything you want to learn about. And if you fall in love with any of these products, which I really hope you do because I love them, you will get 15% off during the live and up to 30 minutes after. So if you do want to snag one, I highly recommend doing it by 7:30 p.m. PST, which is half an hour from when this ends, so that you can get that discount. All of the products today are super affordable, but who doesn't love a discount? So make sure to get that as well. Awesome. So now we're just going to hop into our last product for today, which I'm presenting to you now. So you should be able to take a look at that. And this is the Cortex Beauty hairbrush. And it's made with wheat straw. So if I show you the texture of the brush, it's a really beautiful, like kind of mint green color. And it has these little brown kind of speckles all over, and then this crisscross pattern that looks like little diamonds. And the little brown speckles are not like really a pattern. It's actually because of the really cool ingredients that this brush is made with. It also looks like a beautiful like little leaf or something. But on the functional end of this hairbrush, it's really important to have a brush with soft bristles that aren't going to damage your hair. So our hair is the most like sensitive and weak when it's wet. So when it's wet, we want to brush it really gently and have soft bristles so that we're not like pulling at our hair or adding any additional damage. These bristles are super soft and flexible, which means it's also nice on the scalp and won't create any irritation there. And they're wide set, which also helps with that as well. Great for many different kinds of hair types. If you have more coarse hair, or curly hair, you might not use a hairbrush very often. But depending on your hair type, if you do love a hairbrush, this one's really, really soft and gentle, and great for your hair when it's wet or dry. So that's a little bit about the functionality of the brush. I use it after I get out of the shower. I'll brush through my hair after putting in the oil to kind of help put the product through my hair. I don't typically brush my hair when it is dry. Again, it makes it a little bit frizzy and because I have frizzy hair. And it can be somewhat damaging if your hair is a little bit already on the damaged or frizzy side. So I typically just brush when my hair is dry and get out any knots. But again, that's totally a personal preference. But what I think is really, really rad about this brush, not only is it super functional and cute and beautiful, it's really lightweight because of the material of the brush, but on the material of the brush. So it is made out of bio-based materials. And what that means is that it's not made out of something that, for example, like plastics are typically derived from fossil fuels, which is terrible for carbon emissions. And creating virgin plastic is not like an organic material. But bio-based means it is made from organic materials. This in particular is made from renewable biomass, which is incredible. It uses straw, rice husk, other old plastics. So they're kind of recycling old plastics to make this nice polymer material that's really, really lightweight. And that's why it does have that little bit of a speckled appearance, because it's blending other resources and giving them a new life. They actually save a lot of straw and rice and husk from being thrown away or going to a landfill. So it's rescued and put into these brushes. Same with the plastic, a really cool way of recycling different materials. And all of those things are combined into one renewable biomass that creates an even stronger like polymer material, which is what we see here. It's really, really firm on the handle, like not going to snap. And then here with this design with the slit in the middle is a little bit more soft and malleable to make sure that it can brush easily and doesn't like pull or anything like that. So see here, there's like the two kind of plates of the brush, but it all uses that same biomass material, which is super cool. And then the like coolest thing about it, I think, is that there are 0 carbon emissions from creating this hairbrush. Like that is so rare for Cocokind where I work. We actually put the carbon emission information for every single product on the box packaging, and that's like not very common. And pretty much everything has a carbon emission and creates a carbon footprint. So really, really, really cool that Cortex Beauty has this brush that has a 0 carbon emission. And really the only carbon emission would come from you ordering the product. But compared to pretty much anything else, that's so low and so cool. And I hope we can get Cocokind to a place where we have some products that are 0 emissions, because that would be incredible. Because it is a bio-based material, it is also recyclable and reusable. It's not going to deteriorate or melt in water or anything like that. It's a super, super durable polymer material. That's also really lightweight. So really, really obsessed with this product and how they put it together. As you guys may know from joining me other weeks, any brand that has like a sustainable focus and clean ingredients is just going to win a special place in my heart. So this is just a really awesome product. And I think having a hairbrush that doesn't leave our hair feeling frizzy or damaged is a staple for like all hair types and all different kinds of like people. Like it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, long hair, short hair. Everyone loves having a really, really good hairbrush. And they do actually have a lifetime warranty. I'm not positive on how you get it. I'm sure there's information on their website, but if you do buy a hairbrush from Cortex Beauty and something ever happens to it, or you're not satisfied, they have a lifetime warranty, which is also really cool. And to me shows that these are super, super durable and probably like shouldn't be breaking or damaged. So really, really awesome hair staple to have in your routine. We spend a lot of time thinking about our skincare routines. Sometimes people think about body care routines, which I still feel like is less focused on, but our hair is another just like external thing we want to make sure that we're taking care of and providing nourishment and some TLC. Yeah, so those were our 3 goodies for today. All of these products are essentials in my hair care routine, so I hope you found something that resonates with you. Really quickly to recap for anyone who may have missed the first portions, the first product is this satin pillow overnight hair mask from Orlando Pita Play. Play, I think, is like the line specifically for this, Orlando Pita. But really, really nourishing and hydrating hair mask that you can use throughout the day for 10 minutes, overnight, on a flight even. Truly whatever you want, and leaves your hair feeling really moisturized and just extra shiny. I'll have to post an after photo on my Instagram stories because my hair is not completely dry yet. I was hoping it would be. My hair dries super slowly. And then our second product was this beautiful hair serum. It's an oil from Realm Concept Market. It's the 7 Layers of Heaven hair serum. Smells like banana boat sunscreen, but is oh so much better. Again, helps kind of rehydrate and keep your hair shiny and healthy. And then our last product was this hairbrush from Cortex Beauty, which uses really freaking cool bio-based materials and has 0 carbon emissions. So those are our products for today. Thank you so much to anyone who joined. If you have any questions that I didn't answer or didn't come up during the live stream, feel free to DM me on Instagram, First Fig, and we can kind of chat through it and I can help you. But thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys all next week. Bye. Happy Monday.